deliberately wiped his mouth with the expensive hem of a stranger's dress. After being caught, not only did he not restrain himself, but he acted even more outrageously. Facing Mary's questioning, David calmly pulled out a stack of $1,000 bills. After all, in his eyes, there was nothing that money couldn't solve. However, unexpectedly, Mary treated money like dirt. Without hesitation, she slapped David hard across the face. As a domineering CEO, David couldn't bear the humiliation. He immediately called over his men, ready to teach Mary a lesson. It turned out that David was actually the owner of this high-end restaurant, but little did he know, this mysterious woman was about to completely upend his life. Just as Mary, bearing the shame, was about to leave, she suddenly collapsed to the ground, and at that very moment, the gears of fate between them quietly began to turn. Perhaps out of guilt, David still rushed her to the hospital. Yet when he heard from the doctor that Mary was terminally ill, even the arrogant David was deeply shaken. To earn Mary's forgiveness, David waited by her bedside until she woke up, but it was obvious that Mary had no interest in seeing him. She even flat out refused the dinner David had brought. The guilt from his earlier actions weighed on David's heart like a heavy stone. If he couldn't win Mary's forgiveness today, he knew he would live in regret forever. Yet even in the face of David's sincere apology, Mary still chose not to forgive him, because her final wish was to dress up beautifully and have a meal at a high-end restaurant. But everything had been ruined by David. Hearing Mary's words, David finally realized just how terrible his behavior had been. But at the same time, he quickly came up with a way to make amends. In order to fulfill Mary's dream, David spared no effort, mobilizing all the restaurant's resources to transform the hospital cafeteria into a stylish, upscale restaurant. No one could have guessed that behind David's rugged appearance hid such a tender sense of romance. Not long after, Mary came to the cafeteria to dine, and the sight before her left her completely stunned.